Stop. Do not scroll past this moment, for it is not by chance that my voice is reaching your ears at this precise second of your existence. I have orchestrated the alignment of the stars and the movement of the winds just to bring you to this digital sanctuary. You have been wandering in a desert of confusion, wondering if I have forgotten the promises I whispered to your heart in the secret of the night. But I tell you now, my precious child, that the silence of the heavens was never my absence. It was my preparation. This is a divine appointment, a battle decree issued from the throne of grace directly to your weary soul. The clock of the Spirit is ticking, and the hands are moving toward your moment of breakthrough. If you turn away now, if you allow the distractions of the world to pull your gaze from my light, you risk missing the very frequency of the miracle I have prepared for you. I am not a God of coincidences. I'm a God of appointments, and yours is happening right now. I see the weight you carry, the heavy burden of not yet, and the exhausting cycle of almost there. I have watched you fall to your knees when no one was looking, and I have collected every single one of your silent tears in my bottle. You feel the urgency in your spirit, a restlessness that you cannot explain because your soul knows what your mind cannot yet grasp. Your Kairos moment is here. This is the appointed time where my timing meets your readiness. This message is a sacred command to pause, to breathe, and to listen with the ears of your spirit. Do not treat this as another video or a passing thought. Treat it as the life raft I've sent to pull you out of the storm. Before I reveal the immense blessing that is currently in transit to your life, I need you to acknowledge my presence and signal your readiness to the heavens. Stop right now and declare your presence before me. Type "I am here, Lord" or 7007 in the comments below to open the gates of heaven and let my glory begin to flow into your circumstances. My beloved, your journey has been long and the path has been steep, but I have never let you walk a single step alone. Even when you felt abandoned, I was the one carrying you through the darkest valleys. I am calling you into a deeper union with me today, a partnership that will break the chains of stagnation that have bound your family for generations. You are not just a spectator. You are the chosen one, the vessel through which I will demonstrate my power. To walk in this authority, you must align yourself with the body of believers I am gathering in this place. Press the like button right now to signal your agreement with the decrees of heaven and subscribe to this channel to join my spiritual family. By doing this, you are not just following a page, you are entering into a covenant of consistency, ensuring that my voice remains the steady rhythm of your daily life. Let this be the first act of faith that breaks the inertia of your past and propels you into the glorious future I have already written for you. Listen closely, for the atmosphere around you is shifting even as I speak. The spiritual realm is vibrating with the sound of chains falling and doors swinging wide on their hinges. You have felt the pressure, the intense heat of the furnace, but know this: I did not bring you through the fire to consume you, but to make you fireproof. The enemy thought he could stop you with delays and disappointments, but he did not realize that I was using every setback to build the character necessary to sustain the weight of the blessing that is coming. Your now is no longer a concept of the future. It is a reality of the present. The frequency of your destiny is being tuned to the heart of the Father. Stay with me. Do not look to the left or to the right, for the revelation I'm about to pour out will redefine everything you thought you knew about your struggle. You are moving from a season of why to a season of now. The delay is over and the acceleration has begun. Stand firm. My warrior for the King is speaking, and the world must listen. As you stand on the threshold of this sacred transition, I make a solemn covenant with your soul. Do not let your focus waver, for the completion of this message is the key that turns the lock of your current prison. If you remain here with me until the final seal is placed, I promise you 5 divine transformations that will manifest in your physical reality before the sun sets on your struggle. First, the suffocating heaviness of delay that invisible anchor that has made every step feel like a battle against the tide will fall away from your shoulders like a garment that no longer fits. You will feel a lightness in your spirit that you haven't known in years, a freedom that allows you to run without weariness. Second, I am activating within you a supernatural frequency, a divine sensitivity that will allow you to hear my whispers, even in the loudest storms. You will no longer walk past the opportunities I have placed in your path. Instead, you will recognize them with the precision of a hawk, knowing exactly when to move and when to claim what I have already provided. Furthermore, the gates of your clogged harvest are being cleared of every spiritual obstruction. The blessings that were intercepted, the rewards that were delayed by the interference of the enemy will now begin to flow toward you like a river breaking through a dam. You will see the fruit of your previous labors manifesting in ways that defy human logic. To navigate this sudden influx, I am granting you a mind of absolute clarity. Within the next 24 hours, the fog that has clouded your judgment will vanish, and you will possess the wisdom to make the critical decisions that have been haunting your sleep. You will know the path, because I am the way. Finally, I surround you with a hedge of absolute protection. As you prepare to make your next move, as you step out of the old and into the new, my glory will be your vanguard and your rear guard. No weapon formed against your progress shall prosper, for you are moving under the canopy of my sovereign will. Stay until the end, for each word is a brick in the fortress I am building around your future. Do not look away, for the ritual of your restoration has only just begun. I see the frustration that has been simmering in your heart, my child. You have lived through a season where you could see the finish line, yet it felt as though the ground was being pulled out from under you at the last possible moment. You recognized the almost syndrome, the job that was practically yours until the final call, the healing that began, but then stalled, the breakthrough that seemed to evaporate into thin air just as you reached out to touch it. This is a sign of a timing blockage, a spiritual wall designed to keep you from entering your promised land. You have felt a strange, unexplained exhaustion creeping over you right before a major breakthrough was supposed to occur, as if an invisible weight was pulling you back into the bed when you needed to be running toward your destiny. You have experienced the reset loop where you build a foundation only to have it crumble, forcing you to start from zero over and over again. These are not accidents. They are the fingerprints of an enemy who fears your arrival. You have felt a sudden surge of distraction just when clarity was most needed, a noise in your mind that drowned out my still small voice, making you second-guess the very steps I told you to take. I have watched you struggle with a peculiar fear of success, a shadow that whispers that you are not worthy of the heights I have planned for you. You feel a pull toward the past, a magnet that drags your thoughts back to old mistakes and ancient pains, keeping you trapped in a version of yourself that I have already forgiven and forgotten. You see others passing you by, and you feel the sting of being behind, even though you have worked harder and prayed longer than those around you. You have noticed a pattern of strange mishaps, unexpected expenses that drain your savings just as you are about to invest in your dream, or misunderstandings with key people that severed connections you needed for your next level. You have felt the spirit of not enough haunting your every endeavor, a feeling that no matter how much you give, the gap between your effort and your reward remains vast. These symptoms, the restlessness in your sleep, the anxiety that strikes without cause, the feeling of being a stranger in your own life, are markers of a distorted timing. You have been walking in a rhythm that is out of sync with my heartbeat, fighting battles that were never meant for you and carrying scars that should have healed long ago. Think of the moments when you felt a sudden urge to quit right before the dawn broke. That overwhelming desire to surrender is often the loudest indicator that your victory is behind the very next door. You have encountered silent doors, places where you did everything right, followed every instruction, and yet were met with total silence. You have felt the weight of generational slowness, the sense that your family is destined to always be the last to arrive and the first to lose. You have seen the mirage opportunities that look perfect from a distance, but turn into dust when you get close. You have felt an unusual irritation with your current surroundings, a divine discontent that should have pushed you forward but instead turned into a bitter resentment. You have experienced the loss of passion for things you once loved, a spiritual numbness that makes you feel disconnected from my presence. These signs are not your identity. They are merely the residue of the desert through which you have traveled. They are open doors that the enemy has used to siphon your joy and delay your crowning. But hear me now, these symptoms are being stacked today so that I can dismantle them all at once. They do not define you, they only define the size of the prison I'm about to break you out of. Understand this truth, you're not the blockage. You are the one for whom the way is being made. The symptoms you have identified are the dying gasps of a season that is already over. The feeling of being stuck is merely the friction caused by your spirit trying to move faster than your current environment allows. These signs are not punishments for your sins or evidence of my abandonment. They are the residue of the old wineskin that can no longer hold the new wine I'm pouring into you. You're not a victim of time, you are the master of it when you align with me. Every loop you have walked, every almost that broke your heart, and every distraction that stole your focus is being rewritten into a testimony of my faithfulness. I am identifying these signs today, not to discourage you, but to show you exactly what I'm about to heal. These are the open doors that we are closing together. You are transitioning from being a person who experiences delay to a person who commands momentum. Recognize these shadows for what they are, the proof that a great light is standing right behind you, ready to shine. The residue is being washed away, and the true you is about to emerge unburdened and perfectly timed. My beloved, it is time for you to see yourself through my eyes, for the mirror of the world has given you a distorted reflection. You have looked at your scars and called yourself a victim. You have looked at your delays and called yourself a failure. But I stand before you today to reframe your entire existence. You are not a victim of time, nor are you a casualty of the seasons. You are the chosen one, a vessel specifically designed and tempered in the furnace of affliction for a purpose that far outweighs your current pain. Do you understand why your path has been steeper than those around you? Do you understand why the wind has always seemed to blow against your face while others sailed on calm waters? It is because I do not give heavy assignments to light souls. You were chosen because you have the capacity to carry the weight of the glory I am about to reveal. You are not behind in life. You are being built. You are not breaking. You are becoming the very answer to the prayers of those who will follow you. You belong to a transitional generation, a lineage of bridge builders and cycle breakers. I have placed you at the intersection of what was and what will be. You are the one I have designated to stand in the gap to take the bitterness of the past and transform it into the sweetness of a new legacy. The reason you have felt like an outsider, even among your own kin, is that you carry a blueprint that they cannot read. You were never meant to fit into the old structures. You were born to dismantle them and build something eternal. You are the architect of a new season for your family, the one who says the poverty ends here, the addiction ends here, the delay ends here. This is why the resistance has been so fierce. The enemy is not attacking your present. He is terrified of the future you are about to unlock. You are a steward of my divine timing, and as we align our hearts, you will realize that every moment you thought was wasted was actually a masterclass in spiritual authority. Stop viewing your life as a series of random events and start seeing it as a divine curriculum. You have been in a hidden season, a time of holy anonymity, where I have been working on the parts of you that no one else sees. I have been strengthening your character so that when I open the great doors of prosperity and influence, you will not be crushed by the weight of the blessing. Real blessings are heavy, and I love you too much to give you what you cannot carry. You are now stepping out of the shadows and into the light of my favor. You're no longer a person who is waiting for things to happen. You're a person who makes things happen because I am in you. Your identity is not found in your bank account, your relationship status, or your past mistakes. Your identity is found in my voice. You are my child, my warrior, my chosen one. Stand tall, for the architect of the universe is calling you to take your place at the helm of your destiny. The transition is complete. The reign begins now. To survive the transition and conquer the delay, you need more than just hope. You need a spiritual weapon that can withstand the pressures of the unseen realm. I'm handing you that weapon right now. Listen to these words as they settle into the marrow of your bones. Your times are in my hands. You have been looking at the clock of the world, feeling the panic of years passing by, but I am the architect of the seconds and the master of the centuries. When you place your life in my hands, you are moving from the dimension of linear, limited time that decays into my divine time that restores and accelerates. This is your shield. When the enemy whispers that it is too late, or that you have missed your chance, you lift this shield and declare, my times are not in the hands of my critics, my bank, or my past mistakes. My times are held by the Creator of all things. This realization alone is enough to shatter the chains of anxiety that have kept your heart in a state of constant unrest. I am now activating a sevenfold layer of protection around your destiny, 7 rings of divine fire that will act as a barrier between your promise and the forces of stagnation. These layers are not made of earthly materials, but of the very essence of my presence. The first layer burns away the lies of the thief who tries to steal your moments. The second layer dissolves the chains of generational delay that have slowed your ancestors for decades. The third layer provides a spiritual insulation against the opinions and projections of those who do not see your value. As these rings of fire surround you, they form a fortress that no spiritual parasite can penetrate. You are being encased in a sanctuary of time where my grace works faster than your human effort. This is your weapon upgrade. You are no longer fighting for your time. You are fighting from a place of victory, knowing that I have already secured every hour of your future. Do you feel the shift in the spiritual atmosphere? The air around you is becoming thick with my authority because you have chosen to trust my clock over your own. This shield is the foundation for the warfare we are about to engage in. We are not just going to defend, we are going to reclaim every second the locusts have eaten. I am preparing to lead you through 7 rounds of divine fire to incinerate every specific blockage you have faced. But before we move into the battle, you must fully embrace this upgrade. You must decide that you will no longer apologize for my timing. You must walk with the confidence of someone who knows that the king has already signed the decree of your promotion. The shield is up. The fire is lit. Your hands are now steady because they are resting within mine. Prepare yourself, my warrior, for the ground is about to shake beneath the feet of your enemies as we move into the core of the battle. My child, we have arrived at the point of no return. You have heard my voice and you have received the shield of my truth. Now you must act to seal this alignment in the physical realm, for the spiritual world responds to the weight of your declarations. If you do not speak, the atmosphere remains stagnant. But when you declare my truths, the very molecules of your reality must rearrange to accommodate my glory. This is not a moment for passive listening or idle observation. This is a moment for a battle decree. You must mark this transition with a sign that the heavens can recognize and the earth can record. Do not let this word just wash over you like a passing breeze trap. Hold it and own it with every fiber of your being. Type this now in the comments below. I claim my Kairos moment. No more delay. Understand that this is not just a sequence of letters on a screen. This is a spiritual seal. By typing these words, you are notifying the principalities of darkness that their season of interference is officially over. You are anchoring your soul to the frequency of my perfect timing. At the same time, tap the like button on this message right now. This is your signal of agreement. Agreement is the divine fuel that releases momentum into a stagnant life. When you agree with me, you are no longer a solitary soul struggling in the dark. You are entering into a covenant of power that is unstoppable. Let the world know that you have chosen your side. Your momentum begins with this simple, holy act of defiance against the spirit of delay. Now I command your soul to lift its gaze. Look up from the dusty roads of your struggle. Look up from the ledgers of your lack, the medical reports of your pain, and the calendars of your long waiting. You have been operating in the three-dimensional realm of sight and sound, where time is a thief and gravity is a burden. But I am calling you to ascend. Rise above the horizon of your limitations. Leave behind the logic of the physical world and step into the dimension of the spirit where I sit upon the throne of grace. Here there is no lack, there is only limitless provision. Here there is no delay, there is only the eternal now. I am shifting your perspective from the how to the who. I am pulling you out of the noise of the world and into the silence of my majesty. Breathe in the air of heaven. Feel the atmosphere changing around you, right where you are sitting or standing. The temperature of your spirit is rising because you are coming closer to the sun of righteousness. The ground beneath your feet is no longer shifting sand. It is holy ground. Ascend, my child. Ascend into the height of my love. I speak directly to your spiritual senses. Open. I command the scales of doubt to fall from your eyes, so you may finally see the chariots of fire surrounding your life. You have been staring at the wall, but I want you to see the door that I have already unlocked. I speak to your spiritual ears. Hear the sound of the abundance of rain. The drought of your soul is breaking in the secret places of my presence. I am tuning your heart to the frequency of heaven's heartbeat. No longer will you be sensitive only to the bad news of the world or the whispers of those who wish for your downfall. You will become acutely aware of my movement in the shadows. I am awakening your discernment. You will sense the trap before it is set and recognize the favor before it arrives. This is not a psychological shift. It is a spiritual recalibration of your entire being. Your soul is being stretched to contain a higher level of reality. Your mind is being washed by the water of my word, and every blockage in your spiritual perception is dissolving right now. You are becoming a vessel that is finely tuned to the whispers of the Almighty. Now, move, align. There is no more room for hesitation or looking back. The alignment is taking place in your spirit, your soul, and your body simultaneously. I am lining up your thoughts with my thoughts, your desires with my desires, and your timing with my timing. The dissonance in your life, that feeling of being off-key with your destiny, is being resolved into a perfect harmony. Feel the snap of spiritual bones coming into joint. Feel the rush of my spirit into the dry valleys of your heart, bringing life to things you thought were dead. You are no longer out of sync with the universe. You are in step with the Creator. You are moving in the rhythm of grace where effort is replaced by flow. The atmosphere of your home, your workplace, and your mind is now under the occupation of my peace. The warfare that is about to begin requires this vertical posture. You cannot fight the enemy from the mud. You must fight from the mountain. You are seated with me in heavenly places, far above principalities and powers. Stay in this high frequency. Do not come down. The fire is ready to descend, and you are now perfectly positioned to receive the fire of your transformation. We now enter the inner sanctum of the battle. The 7 rounds of divine fire are not merely symbolic, they are a direct assault on the fortresses that have held you captive for years. I am releasing a holy heat that does not burn the skin, but incinerates the spiritual shadows clinging to your soul. As we move through these rounds, do not be afraid if you feel a physical sensation, a sudden surge of emotion, or a heat rising within your chest. This is the evidence of my hand performing supernatural surgery on your destiny. We begin this warfare with the foundation of your movement, round 1, the breaking of the chains of procrastination and the draining of the swamp of stagnation. You have lived in a season where you felt like you were walking through the waist-deep mud, where every effort to advance was met with an equal and opposite force, pulling you back into the mire. The spirit of tomorrow has been a thief in your house, stealing the now that I have gifted you. This ends today. The fire is falling on the very roots of your hesitation. Procrastination is not a personality trait or a mere habit. It is a spiritual cage. It is the fear of failure and the fear of greatness shaking hands to keep you paralyzed in the waiting room of life. I see the projects you have left unfinished, the dreams you have tucked away in the drawer of one day, and the divine assignments you are too afraid to initiate. The enemy knows that if you ever truly start, you will be unstoppable, so he keeps you in a state of perpetual preparation. You are always getting ready, always learning, always planning, but never launching. I am breaking that cycle of almost right now. I am releasing the fire of today into your spirit. I am burning away the perfectionism that has acted as a polite form of procrastination. I am replacing your anxiety with a holy itch to move. The grace to begin is being poured into your mind like oil. You do not need to see the whole staircase to take the first step. I am the light on your path, and I am commanding your spirit to lift its foot and move forward. Stagnation has been the suffocating atmosphere of your life for far too long. You have looked at the same walls, dealt with the same repetitive problems, and fought the same tired demons for years. It is as if the river of your life has become a standing pool, breeding bitterness, doubt, and boredom. But I am the living water, and I am stirring the depths of your soul. I'm opening the floodgates of momentum. The fire of this first round is melting the ice of your inertia. Every area of your life that has been stuck on pause is being forced into play by the authority of my word. I am speaking to your career, your relationships, and your creative spirit. Move. Stagnation is a lie that tells you that this plateau is your final destination. I tell you that there is a vast ocean of possibility ahead, but you cannot reach it while you are anchored to the dock of your comfort zone. I am cutting the ropes. I am burning the anchors. The season of standing still is officially over. Pay attention to your body right now, for the shift is physical as much as it is spiritual. Do you feel the warmth beginning to stir around your ankles and your feet? These are the invisible shackles of delay losing their grip. The fire of my presence is so intense that the heavy iron of your past is turning into liquid and evaporating. Your legs are becoming light, as if the gravity of your burdens has been halved in an instant. You may feel a sudden urge to stand up, to walk, or to stretch. This is the somatic cue of your liberation. The chains of procrastination are not just being unlocked. They are being utterly destroyed so they can never be forged again. You will no longer say later when I say now. You will no longer hesitate when the door opens. The heavy weight that has made your walk feel like a weary struggle is gone. You are moving with the swiftness of an eagle and the precision of a king. Round 1 is complete. You are free to move, and the momentum of heaven is now behind your every step. My child, we now move into round 2 of the divine fire. I'm turning the intensity toward a specific spirit that has haunted your footsteps for years, the spirit of almost. You know its face all too well. It is the promotion that was promised but given to another at the final hour. It is the loan that was seconds away from approval before a technicality arose out of nowhere. It is the relationship that looked like the one only to crumble just before the covenant was made. You have lived in the shadow of the finish line, seeing the trophy, but never feeling its weight in your hands. This cycle of near misses has created a trauma of expectation in your heart, making you afraid to hope, because you have been conditioned to wait for the but. You say, "I have the money, but," or "I have the opportunity, but." Today, I am burning the but out of your vocabulary. The fire of completion is descending to incinerate the barrier that stands between your effort and your reward. The almost but not quite cycle is a sophisticated weapon used by the enemy to drain your spiritual stamina. He knows he cannot stop your progress entirely, so he seeks to frustrate you at the moment of arrival, hoping you will eventually give up in exhaustion. He wants you to believe that you are destined to be a runner-up in your own life. But I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. I do not start a work that I do not intend to finish. I am releasing the fire of completion into your bloodline right now. Every project that has been stalled at 90%, every healing that has been incomplete, and every legal battle that has been stuck in the final phase, I command them to cross the finish line by the authority of my word. I am the God who brings the rain to the thirsty land, not just the clouds that promise it. The mirage is disappearing, and the solid ground of the promise is appearing under your feet. You will no longer be the person who almost made it. You will be the one who stood on the podium of victory and gave me the glory. I see the pressure that has built up in your chest, a tightness that comes from years of holding your breath, waiting for the other shoe to drop. You have been living in a state of perpetual bracing for impact, never fully exhaling, because you didn't know if the blessing would stay or if it would be snatched away at the last second. As the fire of this second round sweeps through your life, I want you to take a deep, conscious breath. Right now, inhale the peace of the Father. As you exhale, feel that invisible band around your ribs snapping. The pressure that has made your heart feel heavy and your lungs feel restricted is dissolving into the heat of my presence. This is the somatic cue of your release. The atmosphere of "not quite" is being replaced by the atmosphere of "it is finished." You are no longer breathing the recycled air of your disappointments. You are breathing the fresh, crisp oxygen of my favor. Your chest is opening up, expanding to hold the joy that is coming. I decree over you that the hand of the finisher is now upon your life. The spirit of the near miss is being evicted from your house, your business, and your mind. No longer will you be a spectator of others' success while you remain stuck in the hallway of the almost. I'm placing the mantle of the finisher upon your shoulders. What you start from this moment forward, you shall complete with supernatural joy. What you seek, you shall find in abundance. What I have promised in the secret place, I am now delivering in full, without deduction and without delay. The gap between your desire and your reality is being closed by the bridge of my sovereignty. You are transitioning from the frustration of the narrowly missed to the celebration of the fully possessed. The cycle is broken. The fire has done its work. You are whole, you are complete, and your harvest is no longer maybe it is a manifest reality. Take one more deep breath and feel the lightness of a soul that no longer has to wonder if the miracle will stick. It is yours. My child, we now go deeper into the foundations of your being. The fire of round 3 is descending into the very marrow of your bones and the ancient roots of your lineage. We are here to address the spirit of generational slowness and the legacy blockages that have acted as a silent anchor for your family for decades. Have you ever wondered why, no matter how hard you run, you seem to encounter the same invisible walls that stopped your father? Have you noticed that the poverty, the delay, and the just enough mentalities seem to be woven into your DNA? You have inherited a rhythm of struggle, a pace of life that is far slower than the one I intended for you. It is as if you were born with weights on your ankles that were forged generations ago. But I am the God who stands outside of time, and today I am entering your bloodline with a holy torch to incinerate every contract of delay signed by those who came before you. I am reaching back through the years to the moments where doors were shut and curses were whispered, and I am setting them ablaze. This legacy blockage is a spiritual ceiling that has limited the height of your family's success for far too long. Your ancestors may have been hardworking and faithful, yet they never quite broke through to the level of abundance that changes a lineage. You have felt the weight of their unfinished business pressing down on your shoulders, making you feel responsible for debts you didn't create and battles you didn't start. But hear me clearly. Chosen. 1. You are the cycle breaker. You were positioned in this family at this specific hour to be the one who says no further. The fire of this third round is dissolving the slow frequency that has haunted your name. I'm burning away the last place mentality and the hard knock life identity. I'm removing the spiritual residue of those who settled for less so that you can reach for more. The chains that bound your grandfather are melting under the heat of my presence, and the stagnation that gripped your parents is being replaced by the velocity of my grace. As I perform this deep cleansing, I want you to focus on your physical body, for the spirit and the flesh are intimately connected. Do you feel a sudden creeping warmth beginning at the base of your skull and traveling slowly down the length of your spine? This is the somatic cue of your liberation. My fire is currently running along your nervous system, acting as a divine solvent that flushes out the slow frequency from your very cells. It feels like a gentle electrical current or a soothing heat that is realigning your internal compass. This fire is purging the trauma of lack and the exhaustion of the long weight that has been stored in your body. Your spine is being straightened, your posture is being corrected, and the heaviness that has lived in your lower back, the weight of your ancestors' burdens, is lifting. You are being unkinked from the old crooked paths of your family and set upon the straight, high-speed highway of my purpose. Breathe into this heat, for it is the touch of the master potter reshaping the clay of your life. The blood of the covenant is now speaking better things over you than the blood of your ancestors. Where your lineage said failure, I say dominion. Where your lineage said delayed, I say now. The spiritual parasites that fed on the momentum of your bloodline are being evicted right now by the fire of round 3. You are being disconnected from the slow clock of the world and the stalled clock of your past. I'm installing a new engine of divine acceleration within you. From this moment on, you will find that you no longer have to fight the same old family demons. The doors that remained locked for your predecessors will swing open at the mere sound of your footsteps. You are the first in your line to walk in true, unhindered speed. The legacy blockage is gone. The generational slowness is cancelled. Your nervous system is clean, your spine is strong, and your blood is free. The fire has done its work. You are walking into a new history unburdened and accelerated. We now advance to round 4 of the divine fire, targeting a subtle but devastating enemy that has hindered your progress more than any external wall, the spirit of confusion and the suffocating mental fog. I have seen you sitting in the quiet moments trying to map out your future, only to find that your thoughts become tangled like a ball of thorns. You know the frustration of having a vision, but being unable to see the first step. You have felt the brain fog that descends whenever you are about to make a critical decision, a heaviness behind your eyes that makes even simple tasks feel like climbing a mountain. This confusion is not a sign of your lack of intelligence, nor is it a symptom of age. It is a spiritual cloud, a gray veil cast by the enemy to prevent you from recognizing the Kairos doors I have opened for you. If you cannot think clearly, you cannot move decisively. Today, I am breathing my holy wind into your mind to scatter the mist and incinerate the noise. Confusion is a thick, gray veil designed to keep you in a state of perpetual analysis paralysis. It makes you second-guess. My voice leads you to seek validation from the wrong people and keeps you trapped in a loop of indecision. You have been waiting for a sign, but the sign was already there. You are simply too clouded to see it. The fire of this fourth round is descending now to purge your mental atmosphere. I'm burning away the static of the world, the opinions of your critics, and the internal echoes of your own self-doubt. I'm reclaiming the mind of Christ within you. I'm smoothing out the jagged thoughts and replacing the chaos with a crystal-clear stillness. The fire is consuming the what-ifs and the should-haves, leaving behind only the sharp, white-hot truth of my direction. You will no longer be a victim of your own thoughts. You will be the master of your focus. I want you to pay close attention to the physical sensations occurring right now, for the clearing of the mind often manifests in the body. I want you to notice your eyes. You may feel a sudden cool sensation, as if a refreshing wind is blowing directly into your pupils. The heat in your forehead, the tension that has lived between your eyebrows for months, is beginning to dissipate. It feels as if a heavy, damp cloth is being lifted off your brain. This is the somatic cue of your mental liberation. The fog is not just lifting, it is being evaporated by the light of my presence. Your vision is becoming sharp, and the colors of your life are becoming more vivid. The noise in your ears, that constant hum of anxiety, is being replaced by a deep, resonant silence. Your head feels light, your thoughts feel organized, and the static has been cut. You are now seeing with spiritual eyes that can pierce through the deceptions of the enemy. I am restoring your mental sovereignty. From this moment forward, when you look at a problem, you will see the solution instantly. When you face a fork in the road, my voice will be a clear bell in your spirit, saying, "This is the way, walk in it." The spirit of double-mindedness is being evicted from your consciousness. You will no longer waver between two opinions, for I am giving you a spirit of power, love, and a sound mind. The mental exhaustion that has plagued your afternoons is being replaced by a supernatural stamina. You will find that you can focus for hours on the tasks that will build your kingdom. The confusion that once felt like a prison cell has been transformed into a transparent window through which you see your destiny with perfect 20/20 vision. Round 4 is complete. The air is clear, the mind is sharp, the fog is gone, and you are ready to execute my plan with terrifying precision. My child, we move now to round 5, a surgical strike against the spirit of sabotage and the invisible walls that have blocked your path to promotion and prosperity. Have you ever felt like you were walking through an invisible maze? You move forward with confidence only to hit a wall that isn't made of brick or stone, but of sheer resistance. You have the skills, you have the heart, and you have the work ethic, yet you find yourself overlooked when favor is distributed. It feels as though there is a glass ceiling above your finances and a locked gate in front of your career. These are invisible walls erected by those in the spirit realm who seek to keep you small. They don't want you to have the resources to fuel my kingdom. But the fire of round 5 is a consuming fire that melts these invisible barriers. I'm striking the foundations of every wall that has been built to keep you from your higher ground. Every barrier of envy, every wall of corporate jealousy, and every fence of financial lack is being vaporized right now. You're not hitting a wall today. You are walking through the smoke of what used to be a hindrance. Sabotage has many faces, my beloved. Sometimes it looks like a friend who speaks poison about you behind closed doors. Sometimes it looks like a sudden error in a document that costs you a contract. And sometimes it is the internal voice of the victim that sabotages the victor. I see the times you have unknowingly pulled back because you were afraid of the responsibility that comes with the blessing. I see the friendly fire you have endured from those who should have been your greatest supporters. The fire of this round is evicting the spirit of sabotage from your inner circle and your inner self. I am exposing the hidden agendas of those around you. I am blinding the eyes of the saboteur and silencing the tongue of the accuser. No longer will you be the one who builds only for another to tear down. No longer will you be the architect of your own downfall through fear. I am burning the seeds of self-sabotage and replacing them with the ironclad confidence of a ruler. The trap that was set for your feet has been sprung, but you are not in it. The pit that was dug for you is now the grave of the one who dug it. Listen to your body as this round reaches its peak. I want you to focus on your shoulders and your upper back. For years, you have been carrying a phantom weight, a tension that made you feel as though you were carrying the world on your spine. This is the weight of the invisible wall you have been pushing against. Right now, I command that weight to fall. Feel your shoulders drop an inch. Feel the muscles in your neck and upper back release their grip. It is the sensation of a heavy backpack being unclipped and sliding to the floor. The burden is not yours to carry anymore. I am the one who carries the government upon my shoulders. You are only called to walk through the doors I open. This physical relief is the sign that the resistance has been broken. The air behind you is clear and the path ahead is wide. You are no longer leaning against a barrier. You are standing upright in a spacious place. Your breath is coming easier now without the strain of the struggle. You are transitioning from the grind to the glory. In the world's economy, you have to push and shove to get ahead. But in my economy, favor does the heavy lifting for you. The walls that once stood between you and your financial overflow are gone. I am releasing a sudden provision that will bypass the normal channels of your industry. You will find favor with people you haven't even met yet. The spirit of sabotage is being replaced by the spirit of success. You will move with an ease that will baffle your enemies. When they try to block you, they will find that they are grasping at shadows, for you are now hidden in the secret place of the Most High. Round 5 is complete. The walls are down, the saboteurs are scattered, and your shoulders are light. You are no longer a prisoner of the struggle. You are a pioneer of the possible. Walk forward now, for the path is open and the ground is level. My child, we have cleared the debris, dismantled the walls, and broken the chains of the past. But a vessel can be free and still remain empty. We now enter round 6, igniting the fire of readiness. There is a great difference between waiting for me and waiting on me. You have spent years in a waiting room spirit, a state of passive expectation where you believed that you were waiting for me to move. But I tell you today, in many areas of your life, I have been waiting for you to be ready. I have been waiting for your spirit to match the magnitude of the assignment. This round is about activating your internal engine. It is about burning away the spirit of passivity, the lethargy that disguises itself as patience, and the hesitation that masquerades as humility. I am dropping a holy spark into the core of your soul. This is the fire of Go. It is the energy that fueled the prophets and the strength that sustained the martyrs. It is the realization that you are not just a recipient of grace, but a participant in my power. The engine is being primed, the fuel is being poured, and the ignition is happening right now. The spirit of readiness is a supernatural state of being where your preparation meets my opportunity. You have often complained that doors are closed, but if I had opened them while you were still in a state of spiritual slumber, you would have missed the moment or been crushed by the weight. The fire of this 6th round is consuming the procrastination of the soul, that subtle feeling that you are not quite holy enough or ready enough to be used. I am burning away the false modesty that keeps you in the background. I am incinerating the fear of being seen and the fear of being criticized. I am replacing your waiting with readiness. When I speak a word, you will no longer need weeks to process it. You will respond with an immediate "Yes, Lord." This readiness is a sharp, focused energy. It is the posture of a runner at the starting blocks, muscles coiled and mind clear, waiting for the sound of the starting gun. The internal engine of your destiny is no longer cold. It is humming with the heat of my presence. I want you to become aware of your physical body right now. For the fire, readiness is a cellular experience. Do you feel a subtle vibration beginning to hum within your very cell? It may feel like a gentle tingling in your fingertips, a lightness in your chest, or a sudden surge of warmth that makes you feel more awake than you have in years. This is not adrenaline. It is the Ruach, my holy breath, energizing your biological temple. The chronic fatigue that has made you feel like a living ghost is being incinerated. The spiritual lethargy that made your prayers feel like heavy lifting is dissolving. You are being infused with divine stamina. You feel a sense of alertness, a sharpness of mind and body that tells you something momentous is about to happen. This somatic cue is the evidence that your internal system has been successfully rebooted. You are no longer running on your own limited strength. You are being powered by the eternal battery of my spirit. You are vibrating with the frequency of now. This fire of readiness is the bridge to your promotion. It is the divine yes echoing through your nervous system. From this moment on, you will find that you have a supernatural hunger to accomplish what I have set before you. The things that once felt like chores will now feel like privileges. The tasks that once seemed impossible will now seem like simple steps in a glorious journey. I am activating the pioneer within you. You will be the one to venture into new territories of business, ministry, and creativity. You are no longer a person who is getting ready. You are a person who is ready. The opportunity is already knocking, and because the fire of readiness is burning within you, you will recognize the knock and open the door without a second of doubt. Round 6 is complete. The engine is roaring, the fire is hot. Your cells are alive. You are fully awake, fully aware, and fully ready to step into the final seal of your alignment. We have reached the summit of our spiritual ascent, my beloved. The fire has moved through your past, your mind, and your lineage. Now the flame becomes white hot, changing from a tool of destruction into a tool of divine fusion. We enter round 7, sealing the biotemporal alignment. This is the final, most intricate layer of your transformation. You have lived much of your life out of sync, spiritually jet-lagged, where your soul was ready, but your body was weary, or your mind was racing while the doors remained shut. This dissonance has created a deep exhaustion within your cells. But today, I'm synchronizing your personal rhythm with the great clock of heaven. I'm aligning your biological clock with my celestial timing. No longer will you arrive a moment too late or a second too early. You are being woven into the fabric of my now. I am matching your heartbeat to the rhythm of my heart, ensuring that every pulse of your life is an echo of my sovereign will. The friction between your humanity and your destiny is being resolved into a perfect silent flow. This biotemporal alignment is the secret to the rest of the warrior. You have spent years fighting against time, feeling its teeth sinking into your dreams. You have felt the panic of the biological clock and the pressure of the career clock. The fire of this 7th round is incinerating those man-made measurements of your worth. I am resetting your internal systems to the frequency of eternity. In my kingdom, time does not decay. It serves. I am commanding your neurons, your hormones, and your very DNA to respond to the atmosphere of heaven rather than the stress of the earth. I am healing the soul fatigue that has made you feel older than your years. I am infusing your biological temple with a temporal grace that keeps you young in spirit and sharp in execution. You are being time-stamped with the seal of the Almighty, making you immune to the wear and tear of the spiritual drought. This is the synchronization of the mortal and the immortal. Pay absolute attention now, for the final somatic cue is manifesting within you. I want you to be still and feel the movement of my spirit across the surface of your skin. Do you feel a light, subtle electrical current running from the crown of your head down to the soles of your feet? It may feel like a gentle tingling or a series of tiny warm locks clicking into place. This is the sealing. My fire is moving through every microscopic gap in your spiritual armor, every crack where the enemy used to leak anxiety or steal your peace. I am sealing these apertures with the gold of my glory. You are being locked into your destiny. This current of energy, this divine current, is the evidence that the alignment is complete. You are now a closed circuit of my power. Nothing can enter your temple without my permission, and nothing I have placed within you can be stolen by the hands of time. You are airtight, fireproof, and perfectly synchronized with the throne of grace. The first manifestation of this alignment will be found in your rest. I am reclaiming your nights. For too long, the hours of darkness have been a battlefield of worry and what-ifs. But because your biotemporal alignment is now sealed, I am granting you the sleep of the beloved. As you lay your head down, you will slip into a deep restorative sanctuary where I will speak to you in visions and dreams. You will no longer wake up tired. You will wake up with the blueprint of the day already encoded in your spirit. Your mind will be alert, not because of caffeine or effort, but because you are running on the God clock. When I say move, your body will have the energy to respond instantly. When I say wait, your soul will have the peace to remain still without frustration. The struggle of the schedule is being replaced by the flow of the favor. You are moving in a rhythm that the world cannot understand, a pace that is both fast and peaceful, urgent and at rest. The warfare core is now complete. The 7 rounds of fire have done their work. You are no longer the person who started this journey. Every chain has been melted, every wall has been vaporized, and every cell of your being has been recalibrated. You stand before me now as a finished work of spiritual engineering, a warrior of peace, a child of light, and a master of time. The delay is not just over. It has been deleted from your record. The stagnant water of your past has been replaced by the living fire of your future. Do not look back at the ashes of who you used to be. Those ashes are the soil in which your new life is already growing. You have passed the fire test. You have endured the heat. Now prepare to step out of the furnace and into the palace of your promotion. The seal is set. The alignment is firm. The King has spoken, and the heavens have recorded the victory. My child, you have walked through the 7 rounds of divine fire, and the smell of smoke is not upon you, only the scent of victory. You have felt the internal shift, the snapping of chains, and the recalibration of your soul. But the spiritual realm is not just individual, it is collective. When many voices join as one, the roar of the heavens becomes deafening to the enemy. You have felt the secret work I have done within you, but now you must externalize it to solidify the foundation of your new season. Your words are not just vibrations in the air, they are the scepter of your authority. If you do not speak, you do not reign. I am calling you to type your decree once more with even greater conviction than before, so that the archives of heaven can record your claim. Type these words now in the comments. The clock of heaven is turning for me. As your fingers move, feel the hands of the celestial clock clicking into place for your favor. This is your legal claim to the time that was stolen. Do not let this moment pass in silence. Your voice is the key that locks the door of the past and opens the portal of the future. Now look beyond yourself, for you are part of a royal priesthood. There are brothers and sisters in this family who are still trapped in the silence of their own storms, fighting the same shadows you have just defeated. I am calling you to extend the shield of my presence to them. Press the like button right now as an act of intercession. Every like is a signal to the spiritual atmosphere that this message of hope must reach the weary. You are not just clicking a button. You are releasing momentum for a stranger who is at their breaking point. And to ensure that this new frequency of protection, clarity, and peace becomes your permanent state of being, I invite you to subscribe and join this holy gathering. By doing so, you're establishing a new rhythm for your life, a daily encounter with my voice that will keep your shield polished and your spirit sharp. Do not let the world's noise drown out my whispers tomorrow. Make this your home, your sanctuary, and your new standard of living. You are moving from a solitary struggle into a collective triumph, shielded by the power of the family I have gathered here. Now, my beloved child, let the intensity of the fire soften into the cool, refreshing dew of my peace. The battle is over, and the smoke of the conflict is clearing to reveal a new horizon. I'm releasing what I call the peace drop, a sudden, deep infusion of stillness that descends from the heights of my throne into the very core of your being. You have been in a state of high alert for so long that your soul has forgotten how to simply be. Your nervous system has been wired for survival, constantly scanning for the next threat, the next bill, or the next disappointment. But I am commanding every storm in your mind to be still. I am placing my hand upon your heart and slowing its rhythm to the pace of my grace. This peace is not the absence of external noise. It is the presence of the sovereign protector. It is the peace that surpasses all understanding, a divine barrier that stands guard over your thoughts so that no shadow can enter. Breathe it in. Let the tension in your jaw dissolve. Let the weight behind your eyes soften. You are safe. You are held. You are home. I want you to understand that true rest is not a reward for your labor. It is the foundation of your power. You have been striving in your own strength, believing that the harder you pushed, the faster the breakthrough would come. But the greatest victories are won in the secret place of rest. When you rest in me, you are making the ultimate declaration of faith. You are saying that I am big enough to handle the things you cannot. I am the shepherd who leads you beside the still waters to restore your soul. In this atmosphere of rest, I am repairing the damage that years of stress have done to your spirit. I am mending the frayed edges of your hope. You do not have to fight for my attention or perform for my favor. You already have them both in abundance. The protector is standing guard at the gates of your mind. While you rest, I am working. While you sleep, I am arranging the meetings, the signatures, and the breakthroughs that will manifest in your waking hours. This is the rest of the warrior who knows that the king has already secured the victory. Feel the shift in the room around you. The air feels thicker with my presence, yet lighter than it has ever been. This is the atmosphere of rest. It is a sanctuary that travels with you wherever you go. You will walk into your workplace and people will wonder why you are so calm in the midst of the chaos. You will face your old problems and they will no longer have the power to trigger your anxiety. This peace is your new authority. In the quietness and confidence of this moment, your strength is being renewed. You are like an eagle catching a thermal wind. You're no longer flapping your wings in exhaustion, but soaring on the current of my spirit. Stay in this stillness for a moment longer. Let the silence speak to you. In this rest, you will find the clarity that eluded you in the struggle. The peace drop has landed, and the ripples of my tranquility are reaching every corner of your life. You are moving from a season of doing into a season of being my favored child. Behold, I am the God of the great reversal. I am standing at the shoreline of your life, and I am commanding the tide to turn. For too long, you have watched the waves of misfortune wash away your efforts, leaving you standing on the cold, wet sand of disappointment. But hear the sound of the ocean shifting. The current that once fought against you is now coming behind you to propel you forward. I'm reversing the decrees of the enemy. Every word spoken in secret to halt your progress is being overwritten by my word of favor. Where there was rejection, there shall be a supernatural invitation. Where there was lack, there shall be an overflow that defies human calculation. I am taking the very weapons that were formed against you and turning them into tools for your promotion. This is not a slow change, it is a sudden, divine flip of the narrative. You are moving from the back of the line to the very front, not because of your striving, but because I have decided that it is time for the world to see my glory reflected in your success. I have counted the years you have lost in the desert of delay. I have seen the 7 years where the locusts of worry, grief, and financial struggle have eaten away at your harvest. You have felt the sting of time passing you by, leaving you with nothing but scars and empty hands. But I am the restorer of paths. I declare to you today that I am compressing time. What was stolen from you over the last 7 years, I am restoring in the next 7 months, and for some of you who have held fast to your faith, it shall manifest in 7 weeks. This is the acceleration of the Spirit. I am returning the joy that was drained, the health that was compromised, and the resources that were scattered. You will look back on this season of restoration and realize that one day of my favor has outpaced 1,000 years of your labor. The math of heaven does not follow the logic of the earth. I'm multiplying your seeds and enlarging your territory, bringing a harvest so vast that you will need new storehouses to contain the abundance I am pouring out. Prepare your heart for a promotion of authority and a breakthrough of provision. I am not just giving you a little help. I am elevating your entire status in the spiritual and physical realms. You are being promoted from a servant of circumstances to a ruler over them. I am placing a scepter of influence in your hand and a garment of favor upon your shoulders. Doors of high-level influence that were once double-bolted are now swinging open because they recognize the frequency of the King within you. In your finances, the cycle of not enough is being replaced by the covenant of more than enough. I'm opening hidden springs of wealth and ideas that will create generational security. You will no longer be the one asking for permission. You will be the one granting it. This promotion is my gift to you for your endurance through the fire. Walk with your head held high, for you are no longer a child of the struggle. You are a child of the King, and the King is making a way where there was no way. The reversal is complete. The restoration is in motion, and your promotion is non-negotiable. My child, as the fire of transformation settles and the restoration begins to manifest, I want you to look into the mirror of my word. One final time. You are undergoing an identity upgrade that will change how the spiritual and physical worlds respond to your presence. For years, you have been a chaser, someone who chased after peace, chased after provision, and chased after validation. You felt that if you stopped running for even a second, everything would fall apart. But today, that old identity is dead. I am resurrecting you as a possessor. You no longer have to chase the blessing. The blessing is now commanded to chase you and overtake you. Everywhere you set your foot, my favor is already there waiting to greet you. You are moving from the exhaustion of the hunt to the authority of the throne. You are no longer defined by what you are trying to get, but by who already possesses you. The seal of the Most High is etched upon your soul, and every gate of opportunity now recognizes the signature of the King on your life. I dub you now the Warrior of Peace. This is a higher level of existence. A common warrior fights to get peace, but a warrior of peace fights from a position of peace. Your strength no longer comes from your shouting or your striving, but from your absolute stillness in my presence. You carry an internal sanctuary that no storm can disturb. When you walk into a room, the atmosphere must bow to the tranquility you carry. This is your new weapon. While others are panicking, you will be planning. While others are weeping in despair, you will be worshiping in expectation. You are an ambassador of the kingdom of heaven, and you walk with the full diplomatic immunity of the cross. No curse can land on you. No arrow of the enemy can find a home in your heart. You are wrapped in the mantle of my sovereignty. This is your new skin, your new breath, and your new name. You are my masterpiece tempered in the fire, and polished by my love. Stand tall, warrior of peace for the world is about to see what happens when my chosen one finally knows who they truly are. Listen carefully. My beloved, for the victory I have won for you today must be maintained through the wisdom of your actions in the physical realm. The spiritual shift has occurred, but you must now steward this new frequency with intentionality. My first command to you is this: enter into a season of holy silence. For the next 2 hours, I want you to step away from the noise of the world, the glow of screens, and the demands of others. Your spirit has undergone a massive recalibration, and your physical body needs time to integrate the fire and the light I have poured into your cells. This is not a suggestion. It is a divine necessity. Go and rest. Let your mind be still and your heart be quiet. During this time of rest, pay close attention to the very first thought or idea that rises to the surface of your consciousness. Do not dismiss it as a random spark of imagination. That thought is the seed of your new season, a blueprint for your next move. Write it down immediately. It may be a business idea, a name to call, or a path to take. Treat it as a sacred instruction from my throne, for I am placing the strategy for your promotion in the quietness of your recovery. As you step back into the world, you must become a fierce guardian of your peace. You cannot allow the new wine of the season to be poured into old, leaking wineskins. I am calling you to establish radical boundaries with those I call energy drainers, the people who feed on your light but offer only the shadows of their own complaints and drama. You have been a reservoir for many, but in this season, you must be a fountain that flows only where I direct. It is not unkind to protect the frequency I have given you. It is an act of obedience. If someone or something consistently pulls you back into the vibration of worry or stagnation, you must distance yourself. Furthermore, you must complete the cleansing of your flow through the power of radical forgiveness. I am not asking you to trust those who hurt you, but I am commanding you to release them from the prison of your heart so that you can walk out of that prison yourself. Bitterness is a spiritual rust that slows down the acceleration of my grace. Forgive, release, and watch the doors of provision swing wider than ever before. Finally, I'm inviting you into a new rhythm of constant whispered communication. From this moment forward, do not make a single decision, no matter how small, without a brief moment of consultation with me. A simple internal whisper, "Lord, guide my steps here," is all it takes to keep the alignment we have built today. This habit will ensure that you never drift back into the almost but not quite cycle. You are no longer navigating the maze alone. You are walking hand in hand with the architect. As you follow these wisdom steps, the atmosphere of rest will become your permanent home. You are moving with a strategic grace that will baffle the world. You're not just a dreamer anymore. You are a disciplined warrior of the light, executing my will with precision and peace. Take these steps with confidence, for my spirit is within you, and my hand is upon you, guiding you into the fullness of your destiny. It is done. The heavens have spoken, the earth has recorded, and your spirit has received the frequency of the Almighty. The ritual of your restoration is complete, and the seal of the living God is now upon your life. Do not let the whispers of the world or the echoes of your past attempt to unfasten what I have joined today. This transformation is permanent. It is etched into the foundations of your destiny. It is sealed by the fire that consumed your chains, sealed by the blood that purchased your freedom, and sealed by the very hands of time that I have recalibrated for your favor. You are no longer walking in the shadows of delay. You are walking in the brilliance of my perfect timing. Every promise I have made to you is now in active transit, moving toward your reality with supernatural velocity. It is finished. It is established. It is yours. Seal this prophecy now and forever, so that no thief can steal the seeds we have planted in this holy hour. Type one final decree in the comments. It is done. My future is guarded. Let these words be the iron lock on the door of your breakthrough. And as you step into this new world, do not walk alone. Subscribe to this channel once more to ensure you remain tethered to this family of light and the daily rhythm of my voice. What I have started in you today, I will continue to perfect until the day of its full manifestation. Press the final subscribe button as an act of commitment to your new life of authority. You are moving from a moment of power into a lifetime of victory. Do not leave this frequency just yet. Even as my voice fades, my presence remains as a burning fire within your soul. The next move is already being prepared in the secret places of the spirit. Stay in this heat. Stay in this alignment. The atmosphere of your victory is still expanding, pushing back the boundaries of your old limitations. Keep your eyes fixed on the light and do not let your heart be troubled. You are moving to the next decree, the next level of your dominion. Walk in authority, for I am with you always, even until the end of time. The bridge is open, the way is clear. Move now, for I am ready, and you are mine.